Heroin is a big part of everyone's life today and it affects multiple people. School Research Officer Franklin Regional D. Hanko describes how he's seen it grow in the past couple years.
Basically, the drug problem back then when I was working there was basically the kids were doing marijuana and mostly alcohol. Today, it's changed so much. The drug pushers are able to get that product out so much easier because there's so many people involved in it now. Back then, there weren't as many people. It's just a lot easier for them to get their drugs now. And nowadays, kids are working. There's a lot more businesses and restaurants and things, and kids are getting their money for these drugs a lot easier. Back in the day, there weren't as many places for the kids to work, and a lot of kids didn't work. So they didn't have the financial means to have access to the drugs. The drugs, from back when I first started doing this, the drugs have gone down in price because there's a lot more competition out there. So they're dropping their price so they can push more product. So they don't want to see who you are or anything else. The less contact you have with that person, the better it is for them in case you get caught up with this drug. How are you going to know who they are? Most of the time, you don't even know these people, who they really are. They're buying this drugs. You don't even know what's in them. A lot of things with the marijuana, too, is they're selling marijuana that's soaked with heroin. They're selling marijuana cigarettes that are dipped in heroin. A lot of the people that are using marijuana don't realize this because what they're doing is they're doing that because a lot of times one cigarette, a marijuana cigarette that's dipped in heroin, it's highly addictive. After they use that, then that pusher, the person dispensing that marijuana, knows they're coming back for more. They're coming back for more. Now they quit putting the marijuana in the heroin, so now they're not getting a real good effect with the marijuana, so now they're just going to, hey, why don't you try the heroin? So now they get you hooked on heroin. The heroin addiction throughout the country is it's far greater than a lot of people really understand. It's almost to the point where it's out of hand. It is becoming a greater and greater problem. That's why we need to educate and get the word out there to these kids that, hey, you try it once, you may be hooked. You try it twice or three times, you're probably going to be hooked. And like I said before, do you want to be a slave to someone else?
Any questions about heroin use or any other drug use, you can see your school research officer anytime.